Today's tech tip came out of a podcast I was listening to a few weeks ago. It's about Google for enrichment and free time. So they're fun, they're educational sites for students that have free time. You can push these sites out to students in your Google Classroom under your materials in the classwork page, or you could post them to your website, or you can just have students Google them. So I'm going to run through real quickly, 13 or so real quick places that students could go. This one's called Google Quick Draw. And students can use their mouse to draw an item. So here's a golf club. I drew my golf club here, and they have an artificial intelligence that will guess what you've drawn. And you do 6 of them in a round. And then it'll show you what you've drawn, and it also shows you what other people drew as well. Some of the times it's pretty funny. Now, Autodraw.com is great for me because you can see here I was trying to draw a ball. That's not very great. But what it does is it guesses and gives you all of these icons to choose from. You click on it, this becomes your icon, and then you can copy and paste it into your slideshow and create all kinds of different icons to use. Now, I have to admit that GeoGuessr is pretty challenging. What GeoGuessr does is it drops you somewhere in the world in Google Street View, and you can navigate and look around, and then you have to guess where in the world it is. You can make this map bigger, so you drop a map pin and you guess, and it will tell you how many miles you are from the actual location. Now, Smarty Pins is kind of a cousin of GeoGuessr, but what it does is asks trivia questions where a location is the answer, and then you drop a pin down on it, and it will tell you if you got the right location. I think it asks 4 or 5 questions around. Now, a Google a day would be a really fun classroom starter, and you could even make up your own. But what a Google a day is they ask a question, and then you use your search expertise to find the answer and type it in. Now, Google Maps Treks uses Street View and 360-degree cameras to take you on tours of wonderful sites around the world. I got sucked into climbing El Capitan in Yosemite and spent quite a while following these 3 climbers up the cliff. Now, Google Arts and Culture has art from museums from around the world and art that's related to different eras in history. I had never seen Talk to Books before, but Talk to Books, you would ask a question, and then what Talk to Books does is it gives you quotes from books that would answer your question. It's pretty interesting. You can play with it. You can filter it. They give you some ideas of questions you could ask. I spent quite a bit of time playing with this one as well. Made with Code is very intuitive. You can click on Start Coding. They give you some possible projects you could work on. I picked on one for Mary Poppins, and it uses Blockly coding. It's very intuitive, gives you hints as you go. Free time would be well spent. Now, this final one I almost didn't include because you do have to be over 13 to use it, and it only really works on cell phones. But I had so much fun playing it, and it might be something teachers or staff would want to use with their own kids at home. What it does is it gives you an emoji. It uses your phone's camera to say that you found it. So the first one it gave me was a keyboard. And so I had my camera point at the keyboard, and then it gave me a newspaper, and I went and found a newspaper, and then a spoon. So it gives you these emojis, and you can do a scavenger hunt with them. So my resource for these was the Google Teacher Tribe podcast, number 81. So if you're interested in hearing more about them or seeing even more resources, go to Google Teacher Tribe and listen to their podcast. Have a great Tuesday.